Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I'm so happy that you are here for another 4 for 4. If you haven't watched 4 for 4 before, I will have a playlist up here or up here. And basically all it is I take a palette, I wear it for 4 days, I come back, I give you my thoughts on the palette, I give you a ranking at the end, and I tell you if I'm going to declutter any of them. I started this because I have so many palettes that I haven't been using, and I wanted to make myself use them and really test them out and pass them on if they're not going to be something that I'm actually going to use and love. So today I am doing face trios. So they all have a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter in them. I have other videos that I've done. I have done eyeshadow palettes, I've done full face palettes, I've done blush trios, I've done so many different videos over the past year and a half or so. And then I also have I think 1 or 2 that were face and eye palettes as well. Today I have the face trios, like I said, and the face trios I have is, we have this one from Too Faced. This is part of their, it's an eyeshadow palette and face palette. So their watermelon one, and this is just the trio part. The other half of it is eyeshadows. Then I have the Tarte Hamptons Weekender contour palette, which is kind of funny because it has a blush in it too. It's not really a contour. Then we have the Marc Jacobs. This is the Tan-Tastic Glo Omega 3 Powder Blush Bronze Highlight Palette. Let's see if I can get this one open. That's what it looks like. This was one of their newest offerings, and I realized that Marc Jacobs has just closed, supposedly temporarily, so hopefully they come back. I know they were looking for a new partner to produce their makeup, so I'm hoping that they find somebody because I love my Marc Jacobs stuff. I almost dropped this one. This is from MAC. This is the Mac and Jeremy Scott, who is the artistic designer at Moschino. And this is the Cheeky Volume 1 mixtape. And this one is like the craziest one to get open. It's bronzer, blush, and highlight. And I like that it's the things that you're going to use the most have the most, and the thing you're going to use the least has the least amount. It's kind of cool. We're going to start with the MAC one just because it's easiest to not try to open and close. So what the packaging looks like, you have this, which looks like a CD mixtape, very much, you know, all of the things that you would expect. On the other side of this is a mirror, so you can kind of see it, and then there's a magnet all the way around it. This is completely removable. You can set it aside, and then the eyeshadow, or the palette itself, is housed in this little guy, and it's just kind of holographic on the back. It's very pretty, and that's what the shades look like. This is obviously not a universal palette for everyone. It is definitely more for lighter tone skin, which I know can be an issue. So that's one problem with this. And I realized all of these are older palettes that are no longer, or most of them are no longer in being produced. I'm sorry. This is basically trying to encourage you to do the same and to actually look at what you're using and see if they're good, if you need them, or if you should pass them on, or whatever you're going to do with your old makeup. So that is what the shades look like. You have a blush. I did double swatch because it was bright in the beginning and then it tapered out really, really fast, which is fine for a blush. Like, you don't want a ton of color that's just going, you want something that can blend out and can move around a little bit. The bronzer, I think, is a really great shade for somebody my skin tone and just a little deeper as well. It does a really nice job of bronzing. And then the highlighter is just really pretty. It's almost the perfect shade for somebody my skin tone. So like I said, I really like the colors in this. It's perfect colors for my skin tone. And it's one that I definitely will reach for, and I have used quite a bit since I got it. I really like the highlighter. It's shimmery enough, but it's not like in your face blinding type of highlighter. The bronzer blends out pretty nice. Bronzer is not my favorite thing. Like, I'm just starting to get used to using bronzer. It's not like in the past year or so is when I really started using bronzer. And then the blush is like just a perfect pinky color for me. I really like it. This is definitely one that is not going anywhere. This is not one that I want to use up and get rid of. Honestly, I have a backup of this palette. I know I shouldn't have backups because I have so many things, but I liked it so much that when I found it on sale, I decided to pick up a second one because it was one that I actually enjoyed using and I really liked it, and I felt like I can actually use this and then I will have another one that will stay nice and I can use it eventually if I so choose. So yeah, definitely like this one. Definitely recommend this one. The one nice thing about the MAC palettes is they're pretty similar quality across the board. So other MAC like holiday palettes that I've gotten, I feel like they have the same quality. So even though you can't get this one, if you are looking for a MAC palette and you think you have one that will work for you, I think they're really good. And I have really enjoyed the ones I've used. All right, the next palette that I have is the Watermelon palette from Too Faced. As you can see, these colors are much brighter, more in your face. The bronzer is a shimmery bronzer as well. So let me swatch it so you get an idea of what they look like. All right, so this is what they look like. As you can see, that bronzer has quite a presence. It does kind of blend out, but it's still like with that sparkle and how deep it is, it did not look good on my skin at all, unfortunately. I was like, oh man, this doesn't look good. It was definitely more coppery than bronzer for me. So yeah, not a fan of the bronzer. Don't like that it's shimmery. Like, it's a definite shimmer. It is not even like, you know, a glistening or a satin or anything. It's a shimmer bronzer. Then the blush has some sheen to it. It is pretty. It is hard to blend out though. I feel like it's one that kind of sticks and then you're like really trying to blend it out and make sure that you're not over rouged, because it does have a tendency to kind of like stick and make you look over blushed. And yeah, not a fan of this one either. My favorite in the palette is the highlighter. It is a titch dark for me. I prefer something just a little lighter. I don't know, it just looks a little funny on my skin when I was using it. Granted, I didn't highlight my cheeks as much as like here and my nose because my cheeks were already so flushed, and since the blush has a slight sheen to it, like I felt like it was overkill to do both. Yeah, not the biggest fan of this one. I feel like I'm getting hard pan on the highlighter, and it's not like this is the only time I put my actual fingers in it. I usually use a clean brush. It's not like I'm getting oils or anything. The blush is kind of pretty, but it's very hard to work with. And for me, the bronzer is an absolute no. I think if you are a deeper skin tone and you like a shimmery bronzer, you will probably enjoy it. But then I don't think the highlighter shade would work for you. I don't know, like I'm confused on who this color story works for. I really am confused on that. Moving on, we have our next one, which is the Tarte Hamptons Weekender Contour Palette. And this one is magnetic. Oh my goodness, I just dropped it and it went everywhere. And I'm wearing black, so now I have bronzer on my pants. Well, if you are ever interested in unpanning this or putting it in a Z palette, definitely easy to do. Had to look up what order they went in, got them back in there. So it does have a highlighter, a bronzer, and a blush. So when I dropped it, I did ding this one, and I definitely need to spray this down with alcohol now because like the bronzer fell face down on the carpet. The highlighter didn't actually, it like just was sideways. You probably already saw that, but yeah, this is what they look like. I somehow got a blush chunk in the middle of my highlight. I don't know how that worked. These are the formula of Tarte, which are pretty pigmented and densely packed, not densely packed, but they're not the Amazonian clay. They're the other type of formula. So you have to be a little bit more careful with these because I feel like they're just really strong. But if you go in with a soft hand or a light hand, I feel like you can get a lot more out of these and you can make them work for more skin tones. Because originally I was like, oh, I shouldn't have gotten this because it's too dark for me. But I did end up making the bronzer work. As you can see, like it does blend out as my swatch goes. The blush, you definitely have to keep a light hand on because it's just, it's a lot. So this one, like when you put it on, it's fine, but you really have to like just a little bit, blend it out just a lot. Yeah, the highlight I think is very pretty. It's similar to the other one, but I don't know, I just feel like it works a little bit better. And it's like, as you can see over here, like it's just really pretty. I do like this one. It's harder to use than other palettes that I have though, so it definitely takes more work, but I can make it work. But unlike the Too Faced one, I couldn't make that one work, but I can make this one work. The final one that I have is this one. This is the Marc Jacobs Tan-Tastic Glo Omega x3 Powder Blush Bronzer Highlight Palette. Lots of words. We'll turn it upside down so you can see. Obviously, it has a beautiful mirror. It's a giant mirror. It's a really pretty good quality mirror. Like I'm looking at it and I feel like I can see, I'm getting a zit over here. I can tell that from this mirror. So that is what the shades look like. Let me swatch them for you. All right, so that is what they look like all swatched. As you can see, that highlighter is really subtle, very natural looking. It's really pretty. I didn't even try to blend it in at all, and it just blends in really, really well. This, the bronzer is very light, so I think if you're much darker than me, this would not work for you as a palette. I think they did more than one shade on these. At least I hope they did, because this would not work for a lot of people. I think you probably could build the bronzer up just a little bit. I haven't tried that because I don't need to, but it's like a perfect bronzer shade for me. And then the blush, that's the one that I feel like I need to work with the most, just because it is so light and it swatched pretty good, but I felt like I needed to build it up just a little bit more while I was putting it on, because it is such a light wash color. I had to put a little bit more on it. And it's unlike any other like blush formula that I can think of that I have in my collection. So I do really like it. I mean, the packaging on it is absolutely gorgeous. I hope they do bring this back, because the coffee collection I think was so good that they did just before like they started clearing everything out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they will be able to bring that all back and bring this palette back. I'm curious what order you think I'm going to put these in. So if you have an idea of what order, write it down below as I give my rest of my spiel. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do consider subscribing. Please leave a comment. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. It really does help out small YouTubers so very much. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on these palettes, if you've tried these palettes before, if you've been interested in them, if I helped you, if I made you want it more, or made you not want to get it. Let me know all of those things down below. All right, in fourth place, we are going to put the Too Faced palette. This is the Watermelon palette. Just don't like the shimmery blush. I mean, the shimmery bronzer. The blush is okay. The highlighter is okay, but it's not my favorite, and I feel like the colors don't work for the same skin tone. So I feel really, I'm confused on who would be able to find this one really versatile and useful to be able to use all of these shades. So that is why it's in fourth place. Also why I'm going to declutter. It's so dang cute though. Like, it's a quarter of a watermelon. It's a watermelon slice. It's so cute. But I am going to pass it along. See if anybody else can get some use out of it, or feel that they can get enough use out of a third or 2/3 of it to be able to use it. In third place, I am putting the Tarte Weekender, Hamptons Weekender Contour Palette. So flip open. Hopefully I won't drop it this time. I do like this one. I like it better. This was one going in, I thought I was going to declutter automatically. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to use it some more. I think that I could probably use this up. And if I don't use up all three of them equally, I can take the one and put it in a Z palette and use it for a longer time. I do like it. I feel like it needs a little bit more work to make it work for me, especially like the bronzer. But I am happy to continue working with it, and I do really like this one as well. In second place, I am putting my Marc Jacobs palette because the blush just gives me a little bit of a problem. I really like the bronzer. I really like the highlight. I think they're both really nice. Exactly what I need for my skin tone. So I really like the formula too. It's a good one. And then that means that in first place is my MAC Jeremy Scott palette. Probably obvious when I said that I already had a backup of it because I liked it so much. These colors are just perfect for me. I really like this palette, and I put it aside for a while because I got some other palettes, and this is one that I really want to use more often because I really do enjoy it. So 3 of the palettes I am keeping when I'm decluttering. Not too bad. The goal isn't to automatically declutter anything. That's why I'm doing this. So I actually see like my thoughts on it, and I have a reason why I'm decluttering it. Not just decluttering for decluttering's sake, because that is not who I am. I am not that type of a person. Anyway, let me know if you've tried any of these palettes. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let me know how you are doing as well. And I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.